for news that's short, sharp and
Are
shrewd.
you talking about the podcast or me?
Both.
Backhanded compliment.
This is Up Late with Ben Harvey. Big day for entertainment reporters.
Exciting time to be a show business journalist. Bruce Willis is retiring from acting. He's been living with a condition that few of us had ever heard of. Aphasia affects a person's ability to communicate, which makes acting all the more difficult, even for a bloke best known for punching and shooting more than his extended monologues.
Yippee-ki-yay, mother...
Chris Rock has spoken about Slapgate.
More of a whack if you ask me.
He's back at work with protection.
You can fight. Oh, you motherfucker can't fight. Look at you.
Didn't say very much other than that he was still processing what had happened, but that was enough to almost break the internet. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences then broke it good by revealing it had asked Will Smith to leave the Oscars ceremony.
I mean, we got caught up in the moment, shit got crazy.
But he refused.
You know how I get.
1 billion people who watched the star-studded memorial for Mr. Shane Warne are coming to terms with their loss.
Warney once gave Nick Kyrgios some advice.
6 years ago, he told the tennis ace to step up, posting, "We all realise you're only 20 and have a lot to learn, buddy, but please don't waste your talent." So Nick's turning his talent to filmmaking. He's going to star in a new Netflix documentary. Says he agreed to take part to show that rather being a sport of white privilege,
It's an old Jewish guy trying to play sports.
tennis is a gritty pursuit that should not intimidate people of colour. Kyrgios says they were very interested to be following me around. No shit, Nick, it's because you do stuff like this.
That slipped out of my head. I was trying to drink and it slipped out of my head.
Makes for good television, bit like federal politics at the moment.
Normally, federal politics is like this.
Boring.
But every now and again, you get something like this.
In my public life, I have met ruthless people. Morrison tops the list.
That was Senator Conchetta Fierravanti-Wells expressing her displeasure at being placed in an unwinnable third spot on the New South Wales Liberal ticket.
Morrison is not fit to be Prime Minister.
Pauline Hanson, who's pissed off at the PM because he's refusing to do a preference deal with One Nation, then piled on.
That is pathetic leadership, and he does not deserve to go on to be Prime Minister of this country.
It was an opportunity too good to miss for Tasmanian firebrand Jackie Lambie, who relishes any chance to kick someone in the nuts.
I can tell you what, he's probably one of the most unpleasant men I've ever had to sit in front of. He is a bully. He is intimidating, and that's the truth of the matter.
Bit of a distraction for the PM.
Well, Morrison should be using this period to sell his budget, but the news cycle's been hijacked, which is a big problem this close to an election being called.
Yeah, well, Anthony Albanese knows how that feels.
Poor old Albo. It's always tough to get airtime for your budget reply speech, but it's impossible when you deliver it 2 hours after the President of Ukraine makes an address to the Australian Parliament. "We're dying, please send weapons" was always going to be a more powerful soundbite than this.
I see infrastructure as a sustainable, long-term investment.
Albo needs Mark McGowan.
Who loves to play hard to get with everyone. Apparently modern Australian politics' great love affair is dead. Kim Beazley's term as Governor of WA is up in May. Bomber, who was a high-profile Republican, apparently quite enjoys being HRH's representative in WA. He wanted his term extended by a couple more years, which is quite common. But McGowan said no.
Denied!
I thought McGowan liked Beazley.
Not liked. Full-blown, you had me at hello love.
You complete me.
Mark's infatuation with Kim was one of the reasons he got his nickname Sneakers. It was all you could see of him because he was so far up Bomber's arse.
Ouch.
He was Kim's campaign manager in 2004, and a year later, Sneakers secretly flew to Sydney to help him oust Mark Latham. That dash to the East Coast pissed off the then Premier, Jeff Gallop, the owner of another arse that Sneakers liked to crawl into. I realise Mark McGowan is a good friend and supporter of Kim Beazley, but I had no idea he had taken leave and was helping Mr Beazley's campaign for the federal ALP leadership, Gallop said at the time. And he also pointed out there was the small matter of the WA election about to be called, so maybe Mark had more important things to do than act as Beazley's driver, personal assistant and media secretary, all while working out of his Commonwealth Parliamentary office in Perth. Mark's had Kim's back the whole time, including when he was under fire from a man who would become an unlikely political force.
I would like to assure you that...
2012, when Beazley was US ambassador and Mark was elected Labor leader, Bomber was backing his buddy, saying, "If any man is criticised for devotion to me, then I'll defend him until hell freezes over." Bomber was the first to say well done when Mark became Premier in 2017, and a year later Mark appointed his old mate as Governor. They've had 4 amazing years together, playing Game of Thrones, going on romantic walks in the woods, shopping, and sharing gags at endless ribbon cuttings. Kim's turned to be the big spoon there, clearly. It was a long and fiercely loyal friendship.
I love you, man. I love you too, bud.
But apparently Mark has moved on.
It's not you, it's me.
So if it's not Beazley, who's in the running?
2 names keep popping up. Child health legend, Fiona Stanley, and tough as nails former magistrate, Sue Gordon.
Both formidable women.
Who take absolutely no shit.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Not too early? I'm Ben Harvey. If you'd like to watch Up Late with me, Ben Harvey, search for The West Australian on YouTube.